Hey, hey, hey! Today is day 37 of my 100-day live video challenge, and I am so excited. So before I get into it, I'm going to start off with a little story. So today it was kind of a crazy day because the hurricane was coming, but it ended up being a really lovely night. And I wanted to get outside, I wanted to go on a run, and I don't necessarily love going on runs. Sometimes I love just being present and being in the moment. But before I'm on that run, I'm not like, yes, I love running. But I was kind of looking forward to it. But I had a cap. I was like, I'm going to go 2 miles. I'm going to just do 2 miles. Just get out there, Steph, and do 2 miles is what I told myself. So I got started on my run. And while I was on my run, I saw this park. And it said, what was it? It was called like Dynasty Park. And I was like, Dynasty Park, that sounds really interesting. So I'm going to go check it out because I love exploring as well. And so I was running and I went and checked out this park. And sure enough, it was not that great. But I ended up adding some time to my run. And so I kept going on my run and I kind of had a course, but I went out of my way to explore and to check out this park. And I was like, okay, I have about a couple minutes left before I'm done with my 2 miles. But in my mind, I also had a stopping point, and that stopping point was way up the hill. And so I had a decision. I could either stop in a couple minutes when I got to the 2 mile marker, or I could keep going and I could go to where I said that I was going to stop. So what I decided was that extra almost mile at the end, that was extra credit. I embraced that. Even though when I started the run, I didn't really want to do it. And even when I got there, I wasn't like super excited about it. But I'll tell you why it was important to me to go all the way and to go that extra mile, literally. So one of my biggest core beliefs is how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I will tell you why it is so important. So repetition creates habits. So in this case, the thing was to either stop, to sell myself short, even though I said that I was going to finish at this certain point, and it would have been okay because I still would have done 2 miles. But I told myself I'm going to finish at this point. I went the extra mile. I want to instill excellence. I want to go above and beyond in everything that I do. And especially after watching that Michael Jordan documentary that I talked about yesterday, I am all about perseverance and all about committing to being the best version of myself. So with this in mind, I know it seems like a small thing, but the small things become the big things. So I've talked about how I teach fitness, and as I'm teaching class, there's all different types of people in my classes. And I swear to you, I can tell so much about a person by how hard they push themselves, by how they work out. So there are certain types of people that try and make it look like they're working, but they're actually taking a break. So they try and fool you, but I've been doing this for a long time. I know what they're doing, and I believe that in their life, they also cut corners, but they don't want to be fully upright about it. Then there are people that just want to take the break. They kind of laugh it off and they sell themselves short. And I believe that in life, those people don't go after what they really want. They have doubts about themselves and they don't believe that they can do the hard thing. And then there are, of course, the people that test their limits, that challenge themselves regardless of what's being asked. That person that shows up excited, and maybe not always excited, but they are up for the challenge because they want to get better and they want to improve themselves. And they have a level of tenacity, kind of like I talked about yesterday. And those people, it does not surprise me when I find out that those people are successful in life because there is a direct correlation. How you do one thing is how you do everything. How you show up at the gym and perform on a day-to-day basis, that is going to be the exact same way of how you show up for yourself, for your business, for your life. Of course, there are always one-offs or if things are going on in your life, but overall, this has proven to be true over and over again in my life. So think about this in your life. Are there things that you are doing? Are you cutting corners to get by? Are you taking the safe route in these small things? Like I said, I know they seem like small things, like they don't matter. Are you getting out of bed and not making your bed? That is setting yourself up, setting your day up in a way that exemplifies that you don't care about detail. And if you want to be a professional, if you want to achieve success, you have to care about details. Also, are you somebody that gossips? Do you complain? Do you have a negative attitude? That is inside of you, and it doesn't matter what it is that's presented in front of you. It's going to show up in all different aspects of your life. And same thing goes with positivity. There are people that are just ready to go. They are excited no matter what life brings them. So this concept of how you do one thing is how you do everything is so true. And it can be applied to so many different things. I could honestly go on and on and on, but I want to challenge you to pay attention to the small moments in life. I'll give you an example, another example for me. So I've talked about how I like to rush and I am very go, go, go. So I do that in all aspects of my life. And this is something that I actually am working against because I don't necessarily want to be this way. It's not always a good thing to be in a rush, right? It's great to slow down, enjoy the moment, and just be. But two of the things that I do that shows that personality trait is I will take off my shoes by kicking off my shoes without untying them. And that was something that I just thought that everybody did until my fiance came into my life, and he would always very slowly, let me tell you, untie his shoes. And his personality type is much slower. And it's true, like he is, the way that he does life is that slower presence. I was rushing through, and that was just one aspect of it. Another aspect is, as a driver, I am such an aggressive driver. I will cut you off right and left. I mean, I don't cut you off totally, but I will weave in and out, and it drives some people crazy. And that is another manifestation of this concept. How I do one thing is how I do everything. And in my life, I am rushing through it. And so that is something that I am actively working on. I believe that there's always things that we can always be learning and growing. We never have it figured out, right? The moment we think that we do, we have more to learn. That just proves it. So those are some examples in my life. I encourage you to pay attention and pay attention to those smaller moments, the things that you think don't matter, because those moments, day after day, those small actions, those small disciplines, those small habits, they become your life. They become the big changes in your life. So pay attention to those small moments. Are there certain habits that you are doing that you don't want to be doing because they are not in alignment with what you want and the person that you want to become? Remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I promise you it is true all across the board. Keep showing up for yourself regardless of where you are, because if you do, there is nowhere that you can go but up. If you would like some more free resources, you can head over to my website, showuptogoup.com. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.